Okay, we're back. Thanks for joining me on my mat. I'm excited to see you back on yours as well. I have a great class for us today. We're going to go through an introduction, a little warm up, 3 rounds of sun salutations, a quick flow, and then our peak pose together today is triangle pose. I was putting this class together for you and I giggled to myself thinking, it's funny, I think some people come to yoga to get that hard-bodied yoga look, right? That Pilates kind of lean look. But yoga also has a way of softening you in all of the very best ways. So whether that's softening your heart, softening your time, or just allowing you to soften into becoming a little bit more flexible on and off your mat. I'm excited to have you here today, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna sit in a wide leg forward fold. So start there first. If you haven't yet, go ahead and just lift yourself up a little bit so that you're right on your sits bones. And we're gonna lean over to the left side first. So you're gonna lean over to the left and then hinge at your waist. Try to pull your toes back towards your face. And with each exhale, deepen that stretch just a little bit more. If you find that you are collapsing in, maybe sit up a little bit taller, lengthen through the crown of your head, and then hinge back forward and down. With each exhale, surrender just a little bit more. On your next breath, we're gonna go ahead, come around to the right-hand side, same thing, sit up tall, and on your exhale, crawl your fingers forward, and then exhale into that stretch. Every day you're gonna feel just a little bit different. Some days you might feel more flexible than others. Some days you might have a side that's more flexible than others. Go ahead and take one more inhale and exhale all the way over that right-hand side. Okay, bring your legs forward in front of you, feet together, hands to your side, push up, and then sit back on your sits bones. You might have to wiggle your hips just a little bit, and then sit up real tall and flex your feet back towards your face. If it feels good and it is in your practice, you can stretch down over your hips. The goal is to sit up as tall as possible and then hinge. But if that's where you feel it, then that's where you stop, right? So you don't want to curl over. We want to keep that hinge as straight as we can. No one feels tight today for me. Okay, then on your next breath, we're gonna go ahead and lay down on our mats. I'll lay down with you, and we're gonna do what I like to call a belly twist. Okay, so you're gonna rotate your knees to one side. We'll start with the left, and then you're gonna open your right arm and try to get your shoulders flat on the mat. Press your left hand onto your knee. And just feel that twist. So you should be pushing your right shoulder down into the mat and then your knees over to your left-hand side. I'm just back my hips up just a little bit. You should be feeling that through your lower back and your hips. Inhale, and then an exhale. On your next inhale, bring your knees back up to center, scoot your hips over to the side just a little bit, and then go ahead and swing your knees over to the right-hand side, open up your left shoulder. Inhale, and exhale. You may notice that you need to let your low back surrender into that stretch. I find that when I first get into this posture, sometimes my tension in my back is still trying to hold everything tight. But the goal is to relax into that stretch. It may take you a breath or two to allow your body to relax, and that's okay as well. One more inhale. Big exhale. Okay, we're going to sit up, flip around to a couple of cat-cows. So you can get on your hands and knees. You're gonna let your belly fall, arch your back into a cat, and on your exhale, I said cat, I meant cow. Come up into a cat. And on your exhale, drop your belly down to cow. With your inhales and exhales, move your hips around just a little bit. Let them loosen up. Take a few of those at your own pace. Roll your shoulders down and back. And then on your inhale, we're going to start on the right hand side. Bring your right arm all the way up. Keep that open for just a second. And on your exhale, go ahead and thread that underneath your left arm. It's called threading the needle. Another good stretch for your low back. Go ahead and stretch your left arm straight out. You can even use your palm to push a little bit more if that feels good to you. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we're going to bring our right arm back through and up. One more inhale and exhale. That hand back down to the mat. Okay, on the left hand side, go ahead. Left arm up to the sky. Take an inhale. Exhale. Thread the needle all the way through. Take an inhale. Exhale. Whatever you did on the first side, you want to repeat on this side. So I'm going to crawl my fingers forward. Surrender. Bring your right hand back, left hand up to the sky, and back down to your mat. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to puppy pose. So you're going to walk your hands all the way out. Keep your hips high. And you should feel this stretch along the back side of your arms, through your lats. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more inhale and exhale at your own pace. And then we'll meet back in tabletop when you're ready. Okay, so we're gonna step up to the top of our mats. Go ahead and go to half lift, hands on your shins. Stretch your head straight out. And then forward fold all the way down. Take a moment there. Inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, all the way back down to forward fold. One more in our warm up here. Go ahead and put your feet as wide as your mat. And then come up for half lift and hinge forward one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Again, just letting your body weight fall just a little bit forward. You should be feeling that stretch up through the back side of your calves, up through your hamstrings. If you are not in a position to fold deep folds, that's okay. Grab a yoga block, which you can put on the floor in front of you, so you can have something to put your hands on there. Okay, so go ahead and move your feet back together. We are going to get into our sun salutations. So you're going to step back with the right foot, put your knee down to the mat, flip your toes under, and then we're going to just start to lean our weight forward a little bit to a low lunge, stretching the front side of your quad, hip flexor. If you have a lot of flexibility in your hip flexors, some days I do, some days I don't. If you do and you want a deeper stretch, tuck your hips under just a little bit. That tucking will actually lengthen the hip flexor. Exhale. All right, bring your hands down to the mat for plank. And then we're going to step up right foot. Take your right foot behind your right hand, knee down to the ground. Rise up and stretch your hip flexor on your left hand side. Head up real tall. A few inhales and exhales. If you did that tuck on the first side, make sure you also tuck on the second side. And we're going to come back down to a plank. Let's take a second there. Push up through your hands. Feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. And then look down between your hands. Step up right foot, left foot, and then go ahead and forward fold. On the next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, hands back down on the mat, and you're going to step your right foot back. Left foot should be right behind the left fingers. Drop your right knee down and come back up into that low lunge. Now, as a reminder, your knee shouldn't be any farther forward than your left toes. We want to make sure to protect our knees. Inhale. With exhale, come just a little bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale into a plank. Left foot back. Right foot up behind your right hand. Knee down. Come up. Low lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down to a plank. Give that just a second here. Push up through your hands. Feel that extension through your shoulders. Push out through your heels. Really lengthen your side body. Now, in a plank, you should be tucking your hips under, right, protecting your low back. On your next exhale, step your right foot up, left foot up, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down to your mat. Inhale, one more halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Okay, hands on the mat, left foot behind your left hand, right foot is going to step all the way back. And this time we're going to stay knee off the mat. Okay, so go ahead and pull your right hip forward, left hip back just a little bit. Take that second there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to rise all the way up to crescent lunge. Arms all the way up. If you need to come up a little bit to adjust your stance, you can certainly do that. And then sink right back down in. Now, the intention is to push the energy up through your fingertips, chest back just a little bit. Left hip back, right hip forward. And on your next exhale, hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back into a plank. Right foot up to a runner. Take a second. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to crescent lunge. Left hip forward, right hip back. Making sure to keep that 90-degree angle, knee directly above your ankle, right? Inhale, exhale. Hands down to the mat, step up, and forward fold. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Just a bit deeper. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. Okay, hands on the mat. We're gonna step into a plank, and then you're gonna come down, flip your feet into an up dog. Look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, flip your feet back over, and come into a downward facing dog. This is arguably one of my favorite yoga postures. The yoga classes that I grew up with, down dog always had a lot more breaths than the other postures did. So while it wasn't a resting posture, the flows, the vinyasa flows that I came up on were very fast moving flows. So down dog was your spot to catch your breath. Okay, when we inhale, and on the exhale, foot to the sky. On the exhale, open your hip, point your foot. And then on your exhale, step forward, and you're gonna flip your back foot down, 90-degree angle, and come up into a warrior one. So your feet should be making basically a square or close to it. Front leg is bent, 90-degree angle, arms straight up like crescent arms. Inhale, and the exhale, peaceful warrior, lean your arm back. Inhale, bring your arms back down to the mat. We're gonna come into another runner for just a moment. Inhale, exhale, your foot back into plank. And on your inhale, you're gonna come into an up dog, so flip your feet. Knees off the mat. Exhale into downward facing dog. Push up through your hands and your shoulders. Let the energy shoot out through your heels, bringing them down to the mat. On your next inhale, you're gonna raise your left foot to the sky for three-legged down dog, and then go ahead and let that hip open up. Exhale, bring that leg all the way forward behind the left hand, and give yourself just a second in runner. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your foot back to plank. And we're going to do one more up dog. Look up to the sky. Exhale to downward facing dog. One last chance to pedal it out here. Then, while you are pedaling it out, we are going to move next into goddess squat. So when you're ready, you can step one foot to each side of your mat. I'm going to turn towards you so that you can see. So feet are just a little bit wider than hip distance. Going to sink down just as deep as you can. And with your hands in prayer position. Put one elbow on the inside of either knee. You can use that to push those open a little bit. Sit up tall through the top of your head, but also push your hips down towards the mat. It's almost like you're stretching out your spine. And we'll give that just a minute to inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Next, we are going to get into our featured pose of the day, which is triangle. So from triangle pose, and if you want to stay in goddess squat while I explain this, you certainly can. From triangle, we're going to stand up from goddess. Feet are parallel to each other, arms wide, and then you're going to turn your front leg out. So again, you're at a right angle, arms still straight. You're going to lean your front arm forward and then hinge at the waist. So your arms should be perfectly perpendicular to the floor. Take an inhale and an exhale. And on your exhale, you want to use your hand to push against your calf and open up your chest. You should also feel it along the inside of your thigh. Now, I'm looking for my yoga block. Hold on one second. Here it is. Okay, if you can't quite get your hand down to the mat, that's okay. What you can do is arms out like a T, hinge forward, right? And then you can put your hand on the block and use that as your support until you have the flexibility to get all the way down in that triangle. So take an inhale and then an exhale. Open up. Now, you may find that your block needs to be up a little bit higher or even still a little bit higher than that. That's okay. That's okay. Take an inhale, one more exhale, and then rise all the way back up and bring your toes parallel again. On your next exhale, I'm going to turn our foot, lean your arm forward, left arm forward, and hinge. Exhale. Now, pull your right hip forward and your left hip back just a little bit with each exhale. Open up your chest. And on your next exhale, go ahead and rise back up just the way you went in. Turn your foot in, arms down. Okay, we are going to close out today with my favorite, a little breathing exercise to calm both of our nervous systems back down and get ready to go back out into the world. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Find an easy seat if you would. Put your hands on your legs. If you needed something to sit on, you can certainly sit on your block or a yoga cushion. And we're going to start with a long inhale to the count of 4. We're going to hold it and then an exhale to the count of 4. So on the count, ready, go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that. Exhale, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I am so proud of you for taking time for yourself today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to check out another class, I'm going to put that right here for you, and I'll see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye.